Can Solana realistically hit $1,000? This has to be one of the most popular questions that I get asked, and if you're not familiar with what Solana is, they are a competitor to Ethereum who not only argues that they can do everything better, but also more efficiently. Now, today we're going to be diving into what their market cap is, how many are actually in an existing supply, what do their transaction fees and speed look like, and then make the ultimate argument, can they realistically hit $1,000? And ultimately, I think the answer is yes, but we're going to explain why in this video. So if that sounds interesting at all, make sure you stick around for the entire length of this video, as there will be important information discussed the entire way through. But with that being said, let's go ahead and dive on into this and get into the dirt of what makes Solana so different from its competitors in this NFT decentralized application and smart contract space. So digging into a little bit more about Solana, we're going to go to their website first, look at their chart, of course, because with the technology that they have been able to use in this recent bull run, they have taken the precedent from one of the low-ranking altcoins to one of the most formidable cryptos on the market, dethroning some of the most popular ones that we all know and love. Now, does this mean that it is always the best option? Not always, but let's take a look at this because it just hit $200 the other day. It's actually peaked up a whole lot higher than that. But going back to their website, we can see that they are currently operating at around 1,800 transactions per second, as opposed to Ethereum's like 15 transactions per second, give or take the time of day and what's happening on the blockchain. Now also, they are coming in at a fraction of a cent for their transactions, or for their cost per transactions. This is one of, if not two of, the biggest separation factors that separate something like Ethereum to Cardano, or excuse me, not Cardano, to Solana, because in this situation, Ethereum the other day was getting up to almost a $50 transaction fee. So that means if you wanted to build on the blockchain, or may even make a trade or create an NFT, you'd be charged a transaction fee of almost $50, where on Solana, it would cost you a fraction of a cent, which is why people are starting to flock over towards Solana. You know, maybe they want to create their games or NFTs or whatever it is on Solana, because it's not only going to be a whole lot more cheaper, but they're going to be able to get things done faster for a fraction of that cost. So, of course, at the bottom here, we can kind of explore their ecosystem, see just where they are listed on, because they are getting listed on just about everywhere right now. I want to dive into this and kind of take a look at what these transactions per second look like, because even though Solana right now is doing around 1,800 transactions per second, it can still go a whole lot higher than that. And that's exactly what we're seeing over here. So I've highlighted the parts that kind of talk about this, but even though, again, it's currently operating at around 1,600 as opposed to Ethereum's 14, it's capable of going much, much higher, up to something like 50, 60, even 65,000 transactions per second. So, you know, if the need did come and arise and Solana was to grow a whole lot more than where it's currently at, it would still be able to keep up with the volume, because it's keeping up with it very well right now at a fraction of what it's actually capable of. So putting this opposed to some of its biggest competitors, we can see that, you know, obviously there's 65,000 transactions per second capability as opposed to Bitcoin 7, Ethereum's 30, and we can go over and look at a couple of its other competitors that are, I guess, very prominent right now. Of course, we have the Binance Smart Chain, we have Cardano, we have Polkadot, we have Avalanche. There's a whole lot out there. But needless to say, if we look at the statistics, Solana is taking a big slice of that cake in market share right now, because they're able to solve a problem that a lot of these other ones have not been able to, or at least have not been able to as well. Now, let this be known, I actually don't own any Solana, so I'm making this video very unbiasedly as someone who does not own a single bit. I actually own the opposite. I own Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, Polkadot. I own a lot of its competitors, but this is coming from someone who has never owned Solana, and I probably will in the future, realistically. But going back to Solana, I want to talk about exactly how much is in circulation here. Now, currently, there are almost 300,000, as we can see right here, almost 300,000 Solana in circulation. Its maximum, excuse me, I said 300,000, 300 million Solana in circulation, with a total supply of just over 500 million. Now, what is this in comparison to something like Bitcoin? Because Bitcoin has a total, or a maximum supply, of 21 million. So we can see that this is significantly higher than what Bitcoin is at because they have a maximum, or a total supply rather than a maximum, of 500 million. Their circulating supply is much larger, and so is their total supply, which means that in order for it to get to the price evaluation of something like Bitcoin, it would need a significantly larger market cap, because price does not always determine something's success in cryptocurrency, but rather what their market cap is in comparison to their supply. If something has a significantly larger supply, it's going to be less per token, but it could still be valued as a more valuable asset because its market share could be larger. So with something like Solana being at nearly $200, what would it realistically take it to get to a $1,000 price evaluation per Solana coin or per Solana token? Well, what we would have to actually do here is multiply the market cap of what Solana is currently trading at times 5, because what we are doing is saying, all right, well, if the price of the token is $200 per coin, then we would need to times that by 5 to get to 1,000. And then what we'd have to do is essentially multiply the market cap by 5 to say, all right, if this is what the current market cap is at $200 per coin, then we need to go 5x times that. So the current market cap is around $50 billion, which is what we're actually going to see right here. And what I want to do is actually hit the back button here so we can see where this is in comparison to something like Bitcoin and Ethereum, and then determine what it can go from there. So here we have all of our market caps listed right here in this column. So if we were to multiply this by 5, Solana would realistically need a $250 to maybe $300 billion market cap in order to get that $1,000 price accumulation or price prediction. Is this realistically possible? It 100% is. Of course, Bitcoin has an $871 billion market cap, and Ethereum has a $400 billion market cap. So it is entirely possible for something like Solana to still not even be number 2. It would be number 3 by market cap and still be below Ethereum if it were to go to $1,000 and 5x from where it's currently at. So that is not something that's insane. Now, when we start saying about Solana being $1 million a coin or $100,000 a coin or something like that, it starts getting a little bit more crazy and a little bit more out of hand, because then we're just starting to get into these like moon conspiracy theories. But that is something that is realistically possible. It's realistically possible, and we have seen other cryptocurrencies hit a market cap of $300, $400 billion plus. You know, again, we've seen this with Bitcoin. We've already seen it with Ethereum. So it's not crazy and out of the question to say that if something really is this revolutionary with its technology, that it's not too far out of the picture. And of course, they're soaring from here. So realistically, if we were to invest right now and say, all right, I am going to do this as a long-term investment. I'm investing at $192. What would this realistically bring me to if Solana was going to hit $1,000? And what that would look like is a jump like this, probably not quite as parabolic, but it would be a roughly 425% gain from where we are currently at. Now, again, I don't own any Solana. Do I plan to accumulate some? Probably. You know, I'd love to see it dip some so then I can actually accumulate some when it's not at an all-time high. Do I think Solana will get higher than $200 in the future? I think the simple answer is absolutely. If they continue to do this, and Ethereum and a lot of its competitors sit on the sidelines comfortable and do not improve their transaction speeds, and most importantly, they do not improve their transaction fees, then they will lose market share to the people who can do it, which is what Solana is doing. I cannot tell you the amount of frustration that is growing in the NFT and smart contract community for these high transaction fees is growing by the day. There are more and more people. I've never seen it like this before. So many people are getting fed up with how, especially with Ethereum, I'm mainly talking about Ethereum here, but with how frustrating the Ethereum blockchain is, that Vitalik himself, I wish I had the tweet. Maybe I'll flash it up on screen here. But Vitalik himself actually came out and tweeted about it, saying we need to create a layer 2 solution for Ethereum to make sure that we solve these issues, because it's really becoming a real problem. the argument of Ethereum being a scalable solution is slowly starting to fade away, and it kills me to say that because I own almost more Ethereum than anything, or I did up until a couple of days ago. But it's going to be interesting to see how a lot of these cryptocurrencies react to Solana. Are they going to be able to scale? Are they going to be able to adapt? We'll see how they play into the future. So that's kind of my game plan over here. Again, quite the crazy run from Solana recently, and it's not crazy that they are, and I keep using the word crazy, but it's so I almost want to say predictable that they would be doing this good if they're actually able to do what they say that they're going to do. So that's going to wrap up this video. Hopefully you did enjoy. If you found this informational, make sure to share this with someone. There could be someone out there that needs to hear this, and we got plenty more content like this coming in the not so distant future. So if you have not already, smack the like button. Let me know what your thoughts are on this video and really on Solana in its entirety. I'm interested to hear, and most importantly, if you want to see more content like this, smack the subscribe button, turn on those notifications, and then we will have a lot more content like this coming out in the not so distant future. But that's going to bring this video to an end. Again, I hope you did enjoy, and I will see you all in the next video.